Good morning and Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
2023! My name is Kathy,
And my name is John.
and together we are the
Journey with the
Andases
Andases. Welcome to the first episode of our
podcast.
podcast. How do we want to call our podcast?
The Andases.
The Andases. Okay. Very straightforward.
Yeah, so welcome to our humble abode again. It's been a while since we sat down, and John and I thought about doing this content today because why not, right?
Right.
It's like a recap of what amazing things and learnings we had for the year 2022 and what do we plan ahead for 2023.
Right. So this podcast and YouTube video at the same time, kind of like a vlog, because we're gonna upload this on our Facebook and YouTube. We want to make this as spontaneous as it can get, right? So
Yeah.
as much as possible, we don't want to do a lot of editing. So if may mga wrong grammar dyan, or
Sorry na lang po.
please forgive us. But I'm checking out my watch right now because we wanna make this video just within 50 to 20 minutes. So
And of course, not dragging. Right.
not too long, right?
Ang fancy nito lang.
Anyway, may pa-mic si Mayor.
Thank you so much, Shopee, for... Okay.
So, sa podcast feels.
Podcast.
Lakas makas later yang.
Hello,
and
Chris Uy and
Uy.
Slater. Oh my God. Lodi. Lodi. Oh my God, here I am. Okay. So,
Alright.
what do we plan today, love? I have coffee ready, so we can enjoy our coffee while having this conversation as if we're just literally, you know,
Having a casual conversation.
yeah, with our friends.
So, what are we gonna talk about again?
I have actually listed down a few. Please excuse the noise of our baby Zoe.
Yes.
We don't have a yaya, and she's just there. So, I have listed down at least 5 questions.
Okay.
These questions actually we already asked it to each other, sort of, but we haven't really sat down, like really thought about it. We kept on saying, love, let's talk about our realization for the 2022, but we haven't really sat down and discussed them, one by
Thoroughly.
one. Thoroughly.
In depth.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're doing it today. Okay. Are you ready, Daddy?
I
Sounds-
am born ready.
Sounds like Zoe. Okay. So the first question I have here is, let's sort of look back, right? So what is your unforgettable mistake for the year 2022?
Unforgettable mistake in 2022.
Diba? Mapapanumdum ka, diba?
Unforgettable mistake. I don't make mistakes.
Oh, because you're perfect. I can start if you want.
Sige,
So
sige,
while
go.
you're
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
again, this is spontaneous.
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. Oh my God.
Di ba ka namin? Kaya
Mm.
mapanamduman mo gid. I think since ako ang naglista sa question, my most unforgettable mistake for the year 2022 is the fact na nagka-UTI si Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a mom, I bury bala the guilt na syempre ako ang
You
Pero
carry the guilt.
Yeah, I carry the burden and the guilt. Because of course most of the week kami naduwang tanay,
Mhm.
right? And why nagka-UTI siya?
Mhm.
It's on me. I'm blaming myself for that, and
Mhm.
I'm being accountable for everything. So the fact ba lang it's not just a diagnosis, but but really she's in pain. Every time mangihingi siya, she's really in pain and there's nothing that you can do. So we had her checked, and then we saw that there's a lot of really
Mhm.
too much to count according sa sa pag-check sa iyang urine, and it's scary. So good thing we have our friend Dr. Laurie, our family friend doctor, who's always there to guide us even when it comes to mga bulong-bulong, mga sa balay lang balahong remedy and all that. So very thankful gid ko sa iya. And yes, as a mom, I think I'm sure I have made a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
right? But for 2022, that's the most unforgettable one. Kay manugtakop ang tuig. Bonag kayo ti ay pa yung bata ko. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for moms out there, for it to be a learning experience, and make sure na hindi matabusin nyo because it's painful. It's painful to see na ang bata mo nasakitan mangihi, ginastop yung ihiya because
Mm-hmm.
sakitan siya. So, always clean, especially baby girls, always clean them after the wee wee,
Right.
and especially when they poo poo, clean the front and the back with soap, kid,
Mm-hmm.
and always have them wash their hands just in case they touch their genitals bala. Because I think that ang hands tagidya siya ginang culprit when it comes to, lapag-lapta sang germs. So yeah, that's my biggest mistake for 2022.
Wow, that's a good one. Well, you know what? While you are talking, I'm actually trying to remember what are some of the biggest mistake that I have in 2022. But there's really nothing that stood out to me. If there's anything, I guess it's just, the fact that I'm always on my phone.
Thank you.
It's a mistake, right? I'm always on my phone, and I could justify that most of the time. I would, part of my job, part of what I do in the corporate world is to always be checking what's happening at work. But I feel like I've also been spending a lot of time in social media, which we know that if we you know if we do that, you're actually spending lesser time, meaning with the things that matter the most, right? So that's a mistake that um I want to rectify, I want to improve on. um but yeah, no, something like that.
So what are your steps?
Well,
May pa-follow up si Mayor.
delete the
Oh no,
social
sobra
media, no?
naman.
So I think just I just want to be conscious about the usage of social media, right? I mean, for us as content creators, um, social media is a good tool, diba? So I wanna focus on that. That if I am on social media, it is mostly just to um, create content instead of consuming content, because it's the consuming of contents
Yes, love.
that's
Eating
eating so
your
much
time.
of our time, right?
And attention.
Yeah, and eating so much of our attention. So actually, in the past few days, I kind of started doing that already. That when I'm on social media, I'm reminding myself na, oh, are you actually creating content or engaging with your followers, or you're just trying to pass the time by consuming all these things that you see on social media? So, na.
That's very good. Because if you're not gonna mention any mistake, i-remind doon tagid ka.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one, love, and I appreciate you saying that. And like what they always say, bala, once you're in social media, you're in a rabbit hole, right?
Push ang rabbit hole.
I-push ko gina eh. Diba? Hamba mo, 10 minutes lang po day.
Ah, sige, go.
Pero makibot ka nga, ay, Diyos ko Lord, nag 1 hour na ang labada mo, wala akong panatandog because of
True.
it. So moving on to question number 2. Ipa mo na. Okay. My question number 2, love, is what's your biggest win for 2022, or wins if you have it? we should have.
Actually, a lot. I feel like I have a
Yeah,
lot
wins
of
if you wanna.
highlights.
Yeah.
So I want to start off with siguro sa work. So at work, and we have a lot of followers here from Focus Direct. Shout out.
Shout out to our agents
Yeah.
and co-workers.
I'm sure you guys are aware that we have expanded to a new site.
Woo woo! Worth celebrating.
Oh, yeah, we've expanded to a second site, and it's not kind of, actually, it's a big deal for us because we've always been aspiring to have a second site. Even when I first joined at Focus, I would always hear that already from the top management, right? So just to be able to um, fulfill that, right? And finally accomplish that within this year is such a huge milestone. So yeah, like really props to our entire leadership team, I'd say, and then of course everyone na you know bumubuo in Tagalog, right? Ng Focus Direct. So that's one, and then secondly is I think yung our new home, right? I would say it's 80% done. Would you say it's eighty
Yes,
percent done?
kay doors naman lang to, kay pinta-pinta ko,
Yeah.
dyan nga tiles.
So, you've probably seen this. The dog is so maingay, and that's actually one of the reasons why we're going to move into our new homes because we wanna.
It gets crowded
It gets
already here.
yeah. The naputol ang video, unfortunately, so we had to turn it on again.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the wins, right? And I was saying that the house is 80% done already. And one of the reasons why we are moving in is because of just the noise of the neighborhood. And, you know, us wanting to have peace of mind when we are at home. And personally for me, so I'd be able to sleep better in the morning because the space is too small right now. I think it's only like this you see, you can hear her, right? This house only has one room, and then the rest is shared already. The living space, the dining, the kitchen don't even have a decent dining table.
Yeah, it's a high bar kind of.
Naka-high
Table.
table, the bar type siya. But yeah, going back to the question, that's those are the two wins, major wins.
The second
I'd say
side.
consider the second side and
And the house.
the house.
So yeah, my turn.
Yeah.
Um, take two. So mine was that I got promoted for the year 2022, and what I was saying earlier is that it's different because number one, it's not a call center work, it's a cloud-based work, and majority of the people that I am handling are IT people. They are information technology graduate or at least knows how to troubleshoot, right? And then it's also different in a way that before, when I was working in a corporate world, I used to handle management people, but it's not that they're directly reporting to me. It's more like I would train them and then I would check their progress and then I would report their progress. That's it. But having really a team of my own, I don't have that. So it's really different. It's really fulfilling and it's a win, something that I'm really happy about for my year 2022 is that I got promoted and I have my own team and I am very excited to be able to grow them for the year 2023. I hope that we're gonna double in size. So yeah, help me Lord. The second one is our overall health as a family. As a woman in the family who takes care of the well-being of the family and the health, yes, nagka-UTI si Zoe, but it can get worse, right? We can go
Could have
back.
been worse.
It could have been worse, right? We could have, go back and forth in the hospital for the year 2022, like twice, thrice, but thank you, Lord, it didn't happen. And so for me, it's a win because whatever happens to you and Zoe and myself, for me, I'm accountable to that. So,
Oh, Miss Universe. Ano sa ba?
na.
Yeah. No, I think the last.
Oh my God,
Wala
ito na
ako.
daw.
Sorry.
May nakapasok.
You cannot edit that, unfortunately, but it is what it is. The last thing is, towards the end of the year, there's another blessing before the
Oh,
year ended. See, you can remember it. The Social. So it's an agency. It's one of the biggest agency and premier agency here in the Philippines, which connects content creators to the brands. So we're fortunate and lucky enough to get onboarded. I think just last week. Thank you to Miss Catherine Largo, for welcoming us. We also got the chance to meet our fellow content creators in Social. So I think that's in the aspect of
vlogging.
blogging. Right? I think that's a major win na siya.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And I would say some of the biggest brands who kept, you know, getting us
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to promote their
Of course.
business. So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Virginia Park Inn. So SM, thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. The third one, the next question is 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Like how many questions have we answered already? 1,
Sa
2, 3.
wins pa lang to.
So wins pa lang.
Oo,
Oh
ang
my God.
ano, when nautod yung video. Anyway, next is, what is your most proud of for the year 2022?
I think one thing I can be proud of is, of course, those wins that I mentioned earlier. But more importantly, I think just the fact that we were able to survive 2022. I mean, it could have gone to a totally different route, right? But us being able to expand, you being promoted, and us, being able to afford to build a house. I think that's something I can really be proud of. I don't want to expound it anymore, but like I said, we know how difficult it is for other people, right? We've
Yeah.
heard news about businesses closing,
Yeah.
people losing their job, people getting hospitalized, and thank you Jesus for sparing us from all of it. So that's I think surviving is something I can be proud of in 2022.
Awesome answer. Thank you for answering that
May
question.
pa-acknowledgement.
Di ba, ang galing kong
Ang galing mo.
listener.
Yeah.
I think something that we could be, nakagutok sa akin na.
I think you should move a little bit.
Hindi, because this is your kanina.
May blockings.
Your blockings.
Okay.
I think something that we could be proud of is the fact, muna siya kanina nalipatan ko, is the fact that we're able to do finally the outreach. Nga, kita lang
Charity,
the charity.
yeah, charity.
I mean, every year, I think we, aside from the company that we are involved in, and that's really doing charitable stuff, social responsibility as we call it. I think personally as a family, we've always talked about doing the charity, and even before we got married, right? Remember, I think I was like months pregnant with Zoe when we did that Christmas outreach as well. You know, we cooked food, and then the next one we had was with the other Bacolod bloggers like Lex. Shout out to Lex, Mao, Tia, La Quachera. We've kind of vault in, right, and did that charity to the people in Sipalay and Kabangkalan who were devastated by the Typhoon Odette. So I think wala ta absent every year, but I think one of the things that we need to be proud of for the year 2022 is that we're able to do finally yung ginambat na nga, one family at a time.
Yeah.
And we've really, since we are a family, we've really focused in one family. And I'm proud because the money that we used for that charity is our personal money. We didn't ask anything from the outside source. So I'm really happy that we're able to do that, and we will continue to do that next year. So yeah, very proud of that. And I think on a personal note, something that you know me, I'm not really a reader, right? So for the year 2022, I was able to read, not finish everything, but I was able to read at least 7 books.
Ooh.
Tikalon. Yeah, so
what are these books?
the 5-Second Rule of Mel Robbins, the book of Michelle Obama, Becoming, that's the name of her book, Atomic Habits, Educated, The Art of Logic, Ikigai, right? I forgot the other one.
Did you finish reading all of it?
Well, with Ikigai done, with Mel Robbins done, Educated 1/4, Michelle Obama 1/2, Atomic Habits also 1/2. So at least
So do ang atake gali is bookworm gali. To
Yeah,
bookish.
Do ka pa alam-alam. Do
Do ka
ka
smart.
lang. Do ka smart lang. Hindi. The reason why I did that is that I just want to share that daming sinishare.
Ay pa-share.
You know, I heard in one of the podcasts of Joyce Pringles, shout out to Miss Joyce, is that you are kuno daw what you do the first thing in the morning and the moment you end your day. So if you are the type of person, which I am that type of person before that I start my day with the phone, no, sino nag-message ako and all this and all that. And then pagkagabi, mga Korean moms kung
Mukbang.
or mukbang, my gosh. Yes, I'm like napangtanaw ko at the end of the day, and that I am really that kind of person, mukbanger. In
You
real
become
life.
a mukbanger.
Yeah, you become that person. So, I want to change that. And so the thing that I did in exchange of phone is
Reading books.
reading books, and I'm really surprised nga dasig ka matuyo, you know. So it's a good habit to end your day. So
Okay.
that's what ended up with
Good for
6 books.
6 or 7.
Pag-isip ko 6 lang gali dekalon sa akon. Pero be ikaw be count with me 1 2 3 4 5 6
6 lang.
6 lang gali dekalon sa akon. Minus 1. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Alright. We're done with the your question.
Yeah,
Next
we're
one.
done.
What else?
And I think very quickly lang, right? Very
Yeah.
quickly when something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine was like, God, I think you need to start ng, building a wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, siguro na notice niya nga, sulit-sulit ang ibang nga bayo, right? Sulit mga black mga bayo, sulit ang especially this one, this
The
one,
Shein vibe.
the Shein bio. So it got me thinking, no, I'm not gonna create another wardrobe just because we're blogging.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good position. We are in good position to influence people, love, na just because you are doing content creation
You're in the public eye.
you're in the public eye, kinahanglan damo ka wardrobe kag lain-lain gid dapat. I think you need to invest and buy when it's necessary, when it's a good investment, when there's money coming in. But if there's none, it's okay. Na sulit-sulit ang bio mo. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it still look, right? And you look presentable.
Yeah.
Ano ginaiyahaw. So yeah, we stood by our values as a family, which is still always a work in progress. It's never perfect. The minimalist approach.
Yep.
Dami ko talagang sinasabi.
Daming alam.
Damo naman yung may mabasha ko. Charet! Joke lang. Pre ako Okay, love, I think the biggest highlight of this podcast, I think we should avoid saying podcast because when you say podcast, it should be in Spotify, right?
You're gonna put it in
We're gonna put
Spotify.
it in Spotify.
So I'm starting to do some research on how we can put it on Spotify,
Okay.
and we'll try to do that.
Okay. Next, what is the realization, your biggest realization for the year 2022? Please naman, hindi ka na mautod.
True. Okay, so one of my biggest realizations, and we were discussing actually this a little bit last time when we went to Hinubaan with some of our friends, is to not force things. What do I mean by that? So, and this is, I've already learned the concept of it like years and years ago, but I guess as a young man, diba, sometimes you tend to forget about it. You tend to forget about its principles, the advantage of knowing that concept, no, not to force things. Thus, I would easily get frustrated or disappointed or get bothered, right? If things don't go my way. In 2022, I have, it really reminded me, look, not everything is within your control. So, if people want to walk away, right? Or if there are goals or visions that you have that don't happen, for as long as you know that you've done your part already, yet it still, doesn't happen, then let go of it. No, 'cause there's no point in putting so much energy and attention on thinking about it, right? Because it won't change anything. If there's anything, if if there's something, it's just you being so consumed mentally, right? And we know that it won't help your mental health, right? It won't help your sanity. So really, don't force things na not good, right? Learn to